Two hands, guys. Two hands. I come off the fucking. Normally, I holding the fucking thing. Two hands, people. Two hands. In case any of you thought I was fucking like not able to. I didn't have fucking two hands or something. I'm a one-armed bandit or something. Right, guys. Today, gonna do another vlog. Gonna talk about the prison system as a whole today. Yeah, man. Right. What the problems are, where the issues lie, who's responsible. Yeah, from a criminal's perspective, former prisoner, obviously, as you all know. Right, so here in 2017, I've done these vlogs for the last year and a half, 2 years, yeah, give or take. And like I say, prison, yeah, I've been in Cat A's, I've been in Cat B's. The prison system's getting worse, guys. Right, it's bursting at the seams, man. It really is. And you know what fucks me off, yeah, more than ever? Right, they keep making more prisons, yeah, man. They keep talking, oh, we're going to build 5 more prisons. And guys, if they're building prisons, they're going to fill them fucking cells. It's as simple as that. And if it's a private prison that gets a contract, yeah, they're going to earn money, right? Because, like I say, there's incentives, right? Well, not there's incentives for prisons, yeah, that are private, right, to stay in. To keep their prison open, i.e. don't lock out. For those that don't know, lock out means where they stop taking prisoners, yeah, man, right? And fucking, they're getting about £100 a night, yeah, to fill a bed. So prisoners' families and prisoners' misery, right? And the fucking, and people like Sodexo Justice Services and fucking that Joe company G4S, right, are earning money off people suffering and stuff. Prisoners' misery, families' miseries, and like I say, they're laughing all the way to the bank, yeah. Then they're making money on top of the canteen, yeah, when people go in on visits and are buying stuff, right, for their loved ones and stuff, food and everything, right, they mark up like fucking about 100% markup, right, on certain things, yeah. They're making money that way. They're getting money from the fucking government and from the Ministry of Justice, right, funding these fucking prisons, right. They're getting paid for prisoners being stacked in human warehouses. That's what I call prisons these days. Prisons are mental health units, right. They're doubling up as mental health units, right, and they're also like full of the mental health units, right, because a lot of people in prison develop mental health issues if they've not already got them, which they have. And they're just human warehouses, i.e. the stats of the rafters, they're overcrowded. When you put people that have some, right, a lot of people in prison, there's a lot of good lads in jail. I said this over and over in these vlogs, yeah, right. The thing is, everyone's got different personality traits, right? You've got a lot of lads that have got a lot of anger, a lot of lads that have come, not everyone's come from broken homes, yeah, but there's a lot of lads that come from broken homes, right? They're angry, right? They're pissed off, they've got issues, right? And being locked in prison, right, doesn't help them, right? That's like mental health wise, and that's like everything else, yeah. So when you lock people up in an overcrowded place, right, in close proximity to each other, right, it's going to explode into violence, isn't it? And that's what prisons are. Prisons are cauldrons, right? They're bubbling over. They're bubbling over. My personal attitude, yeah, it needs to go off, yeah, within the prison system to highlight the problems within the jail, yeah. Too many prisons are suffering in silence, in my eyes, right? Complaints are being ignored within prisons. Like I say, prisons are overcrowded. Little reform. Well, I don't believe reform. I believe reform's a made-up word. So people like that bitch, that stupid, daft bitch, clueless bitch, Liz Truss, yeah, can get about in a suit and feel important, yeah, man, right? You've got all these MPs, yeah, that rule the roost on prisons, yeah, like this Liz Truss, the Justice Secretary, and this Sam Gear, yeah, Sam Geyer, or whatever he's fucking called, right, ruling the roost over prisoners, right? Don't know first thing about prison, right? Don't know their head from their arse, right? Are inept, yeah, inept, don't know the fucking job, right? Clueless, fucking, just keep, what fucking winds me up, right, guys, I'm being serious now, do you know what they keep doing here? They keep doing these silly fucking PR stunts, right, where they go out and they're like, they put it out to the media what they're doing, right, as a PR exercise. Public relations it's called, right? So they're trying to relate to the public, right? And they do these PR stunts, right? And they're in the paper. Oh yes, we're going to recruit 2,500 officers, right? How about you shut the fuck up, right? You get your fucking job done, and you sort out the shithole that's a prison system, right? It's fucked, right? I can't stand HMP staff, right? But there's a lot of good screws that I've come across in private prisons, yeah, mate, right? Now, the prison system's fucked for prison officers, prisoners' families, right? And the healthcare people that work within prisons, right? Yeah, mate. There's not enough staff within the prison, obviously, to control the lads. But what they should do, right? They need more screws within prison now. Like I say, more screws. The only reason I want more screws in prison, yeah, mate, is so that the lads can get exercise, right? Do you know what, right? I sit here, right? I'm on the out now, right? Now, the state of the prison system here in 2017 would be laughable if it wasn't for prisoners suffering, right, and prisoners' families suffering. You've got IPP prisoners, right? IPP, yeah, in prison for public protection, yeah, or indefinite public protection. I call it indefinite public protection, right? Because for those that don't know, it's people that have got sentences and they didn't really get a release date. Yeah, they just be like, they're just being held in the system and they're fucking forgotten about. And I can't stand it, yeah. And them lads, yeah, I feel so sorry for people that are IPP'd off, yeah, because even though it's been abolished, people are still behind bars, right? Prison has a detrimental effect on your mental health, right? That is a fact. When I went to prison for the first time, I came out of prison, right, and there was a change in me, right? I wasn't scared of prison or anything else. I dealt with the prison situation, but I just changed as a person. There was a change in me. Now, for those that have watched these videos, right, have you got a loved one that's been in prison, that's come out of prison? Have you seen a change in them, right? I think that people change a little bit when they come out of prison. I don't mean about the criminality and stuff and getting into shit, right? I'm not talking about that. I just mean, like, as a person, do you see a change in them? Because I changed, like, and it cost me a relationship when I was first inside. Like I said, the last few times I've been single, right, which I'm quite happy to be. But like I say, the prison system's fucked, guys, right? There's foreign prisoners in this prison system that can't speak English. You've got screws that the screws, yeah, are left out there, yeah. They do an hard job, the screws, yeah, mate, right? Now, like I say, if the screws are dickheads, yeah, I couldn't give a fuck if he gets levered there every day of the week, yeah. I'm not a screw boy, right? I'm out for prisoners, yeah. That's why I do these vlogs. That's why I do the interviews with the media, because the Ministry of Justice can't stop me speaking out, can they? Because the truth is, right, nobody, unless you're inside prison or you've been inside prison recently, yeah, you don't know what's going on inside prisons, yeah. The stories and the failings and stuff like that, it's worse than that, guys. Like I say, you've got bullying, you've got people in debt, you've got people slashing up, you've got people dying, you've got people overdosing on drugs. A kid died on my last stretcher, Darren Rawlinson, God bless him, may rest in peace, brother, right? Died on my last stretcher. He was due to get out at the same time, roughly around the same time I was, and 2 weeks before, a week and a half before he was due to get out, guys, he died of a drug overdose on a drug-free wing. That tells you everything you need to know about the prison system. Like I say, people are not taking drugs because they want to. People take drugs as a coping mechanism to escape the reality and the realisation of where they are. Prison's a very, very lonely place, right? It's a very paranoid place. Yeah, and like I say, when you're locked behind your door for long periods of time and stuff, it does funny things to you, man. It does funny things. There's a lot of people in prison that have got mental health issues that are going, they're not getting any medication because they've not been assessed, right? Because again, the staff are not medically trained to assess the lads, and neither are the healthcare staff because they're just nurses. You've got, obviously within departments and stuff, you've got mental health nurses, but there are none in prison. And there should be a government rolled out system where people that are going to prison, they should suspend sentencing, right, to do a proper psychiatric evaluation on the person. If that person is deemed to be to need medical health help, right, whether it be medication or ongoing support, they shouldn't be put in prisons. Worst place you can put someone with mental health issues. Like I say, mental health people, the lads that I've been with in prison that have got mental health issues, right, they slash up, they attempt suicide, they carry out suicides. And like I say, why should people leave prison in body bags? I don't agree with it one bit, guys. It's just fucked, man. All the money that's going into the system, right, and the only people that are benefiting, right, are not the prisoners, right? Do you know who's benefiting? These private prisons, right? That's fucking the board of directors, they're all getting fat and rich, right? While people in prison are kicking off. They're being knocked back for tag. They're being knocked back for release on temporary license. The fucking IPP prisoners, there's no light at the end of the tunnel for them boys. God bless them all, mate. Like God bless them. I feel so sorry for them. Imagine waking up every day, right, and everyone around you, right, knows when they're getting out, right? Or the only people that don't know when they're getting out of prison are people on remand, people that are on IPP, or people that are serving a whole life tariff. And even they know that they're never going to get out, right? And I feel sorry for people that are on whole life tariffs and stuff. But yeah, the screws are doing a difficult job. They've got no support. They're fucking understaffed. I'm just going to move the camera a bit, guys, right? I'm trying to fucking prop it up a bit. Yeah, man. Right. Yeah. So, like I say, the screws are just left out there to rot, yeah? The screws and the cons, yeah, straight up, right? The screws and the cons are actually getting on. Because not all across the board, obviously, attacks are taking place on prison officers, right? And do you know what the thing is, right? When the lads are attacking prison officers, it's not because they're angry at the screws sometimes. It's because, like, sometimes you get screws that provoke them, yeah, mate, right? And like I said, I've gone over that in the past. But there's a lot of decent screws and stuff like that are decent people, right? That are just there to do a job, right? But because, right, the prison officers, right, and the lads are both angry at the same system, the Ministry of Justice, right? But the lads don't see the Ministry of Justice, do they? They see the uniform. And it's the uniform that's oppressing them, right? And that's why they lash out the screws, yeah. Like I say, people are taking drugs. People are taking drugs out of desperation. People are slashing up. People are putting complaints in, which is called a comp one, right? And they're being ignored. They don't even. If you're in prison, right, and you've got an issue with a dickhead of a screw, right? Like I say, there are good screws, there are bad screws, yeah, man. But if you've got an issue with a dickhead screw and you put a comp one in, right, chances are, right, the screw will end up, when that gets opened, yeah, the screws will be made aware of it, and it doesn't make it off the wing. So when there's kickoffs and stuff like that, or prisoners have been given a kicking on the landing, yeah, and on the wing, they can't get the story out, right, because the complaints are ignored, because they're not listened, because they don't make it off the wing. The shredder just shreds them, bam, and they've gone. And like I say, it goes on, guys, and I don't like it. It fucks me off. There's no reform, there's no education, right? There's no fucking. The only certain people, right? You've got to be like, the screws have got to take to you to get a job. Right, I got a job. Do you know why I got a job in prison? Right, because I was a quiet kid. I used to go down and get my food. Right, I'd go back to my pad. I'd have my food in my pad. Right, and yeah, I was a quiet kid. I kept myself to myself, and they liked that. I didn't choose a fucking job. I didn't beg for a job. You had people that were begging for jobs, and I don't blame them neither. It's better to be out your cell and doing a bit, right, than fucking locked behind your door, resonating these thoughts in your mind. People thinking. And I swear to God, imagine, right, having issues in your head and you're locked behind the door against your will, right? Obviously that's prison and that's party punishment and all that bollocks, right? But sat there with your thoughts in your head, just going over and over and over again in your head, it stirs people crazy. And imagine having years of the same thoughts going around in your head. There's no hope for you, right? You just spiral into it. You're just forgotten about, you're lost in the system, right? And people wonder why people slash up, attempt suicides. Last year there was 119 suicides within prisons here in the UK, right? And like I say, a lot of the lads that are in prison, yeah, they don't want to die in prison. Who wants to die in prison? Nobody. But people commit suicide in prison, right, or attempt suicide because they're screaming out, because they've got issues, they've not been mentally health assessed, there's no light at the end of the tunnel and stuff like that. Of them 119 people that sadly took their own life last year, right, I would love to know how many were IPP. Obviously there's no light at the end of the tunnel for them guys, serving a whole life tariff or a life sentence, right? I'd love to know how many people that breakdown, because like I say, and then you've got prisoners on short stretches that are affected because they're losing the flat, their accommodation on short stretches, right? Another thing as well that fucks me up, I need to address this real quick, yeah. There's some fucking vulnerable woman, yeah, that's fragile and vulnerable, right? They put her in prison for 6 months, right, for begging. She got 50p, guys, and she ended up in jail. Yet there's MPs, right, fiddling the fucking expenses, right, an election at fucking expenses and taking the piss, right, to the tune of tens of thousands of pounds, right. And did they get dealt with by the courts? Did he fuck? They're the real criminals, people. The ones that are in the Houses of Parliament, yeah. The ones that rule the roost over you and I, yeah. The common people, right? They get away with fucking murder, literally. They go into fucking other countries, invade them, right? Put the soldiers at risk, and then years after, decades after, they seek prosecutions from the police for prisoners and stuff, for these soldiers that have been to war zones and stuff, and that have, like, Northern Ireland and stuff. It's disgusting, honestly. The snoopy, fucking secretive, corrupt, fucking sniggering, fucking millionaire bastards, right? And can't stand them, guys, one bit, right? I'd rather have fuck all, right, and get about with nothing, but have an heart of gold, right, and know where I'm from, be from the gutter, but looking at the stars, rather than being these jumped up MPs, yeah, that sit there governing the laws of this country on people like me and you. It fucks me off, and I'm sorry that the camera keeps moving. It's in me fucking Sweden, right? So yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here. I've waffled on. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, just having a bit of a rant. Alright, guys, speak to you soon. Bye.